Hey guys, Youngblood with you for another hardware review, and this time we're covering a microphone that I was sent by the Plugable company called the USB-VOX. Now the company really got started providing USB cords and other variant connector types, but they've started to branch out into many different categories, including what we're talking about today being microphones. Plugable's goal with this microphone wasn't necessarily to create the fullest featured microphone on the market, but they aimed to create a high quality microphone that was capable of studio grade sound at a much lower price. The price on this microphone is set at $75, which ends up being about $30 to $50 cheaper than the Blue Yeti, which is one of the most popular mics on the market and is also what I end up using on most of my recordings. What you don't have on this microphone from Plugable that the Yeti includes are primarily things like gain controls on the microphone as well as the headset amp for outputting and real-time monitoring. The other big difference here is that the Plugable USB-VOX is aiming to keep costs lower by just providing you with the side address cardioid pattern, as opposed to what the Yeti brings with the option of stereo modes, omnidirectional and bidirectional patterns that people can use for group sessions, conference calls, and really just any other function that really requires multiple parties. The cardioid function, though, is the most popular one that's used by podcasters, YouTubers, and live streamers, and that's what we tend to rely on. That's the point here. They want to keep costs lower by offering only what their target audience would end up using. Now, from a stats standpoint, both of these microphones are pretty similar, with frequency ranges between 20 to 16,000 Hz on the USB-VOX and 20 to 20,000 on the Yeti, and both offering USB connectivity with a 16-bit rate. So they should have similar ranges and functionality overall. But with that out of the way, let's take a look at the microphone in the box that it came in and talk about that in a little bit more detail. Alright, so now that we know a little bit about the microphone itself, let's actually get to the product and take a look at it. The box itself is it's actually pretty compact. You can see it against my keyboard there. It's good quality. It's got some of the information about what's included on the back side. It's actually got information about the stats that we talked about on the microphone. For me, I'm always more of a quality of product versus a unboxing guy, but I still like to do it. So let's see what's included in here. We've got ourselves a little miniature tripod. We've got ourselves a USB cord. Looks to be pretty long. It's got the unique mic connector at one side. Obviously, the other one's going to end up in your computer. Over here, we've got an interesting mounting bracket. If I had to guess, this probably is going to connect to your microphone, and that's probably going to connect to the tripod with an adjustment screw. And then the microphone we have right here. It is black as opposed to silver. It's got some of the nice, kind of metallic type meshing there. It's got the brand as well as a power light USB connector on the bottom. And with this being a cardioid microphone, my guess is that the direction that you're actually recording into is going to make a difference. So it's pretty heavy. It feels like it's good build quality. It's very sturdy. So we're going to get this plugged in and do some testing, and we'll talk about it in a little bit more detail. So what we're going to do now is we're actually going to run through a little test line on the two microphones so you can kind of compare them side by side, and then we'll talk about my overall impressions of the microphone after that. This is STLYoungblood doing a voice comparison. This clip is me recording on a Blue Yeti, the microphone I use for my videos and live streams. It is big, silver, and heavy, but it has served me well. This is STLYoungblood doing a voice comparison. This clip is me recording on a Plugable branded cardioid condenser USB microphone. It is smaller, black, and I'm reviewing it in this video. So now that you've heard the two mics side by side, let's talk about my opinions of this microphone overall. The Plugable USB-VOX does a really nice job of focusing the sound forward and preventing a lot of the echo and background noises from making their way into the recording environment. As a result, the quality of the audio is pretty darn crisp. Now, setup on this microphone was a breeze, and it's very similar to a lot of other USB microphones where there isn't a whole lot that you need to play with. I also appreciated the smaller size, as when I have it on my boom arm stand, it's not as obtrusive as something like the Yeti. I will say, though, that I miss the gain control on the microphone itself. For example, I've been able to adjust the overall input of recording settings as well as giving another smaller boost of the Yeti itself, which means that I don't end up having that grainy, lower quality sound when you bump up the gain. On the Plugable mic, the only way that you can make the adjustment is via the levels option in the microphone properties, which means that I need to run it at about an 85 level to get the volume that I really want without having to increase my voice significantly over what I'm familiar with, kind of presenting. The other option is to get the microphone really significantly closer to your mouth, which is probably proper form, but for gaming and making videos, that's not as always as easy as it sounds. So being able to sit a little bit further back is always a nice perk for me. Overall, I'm really actually pretty impressed with the microphone, as the quality of the vocal audio was more than I expected it to be. To give you some perspective, outside of the voice test that I did in the middle of this video, my introduction to this product and this part now were all recorded on the USB-VOX, while the unboxing portion was recorded on my Blue Yeti. Now, that's not necessarily the best comparison in that, I guess, when I was doing the unboxing, I was sitting a bit further back as opposed to proper, address position. But you get the idea that you may not have even noticed a significant enough difference at the beginning of this video to think that I was even using a different microphone. So I'm never one to say go out and buy a product, but if you're in the market for a high quality microphone, I can at least give this one my seal of approval, assuming you're someone that wants to do things like YouTube videos or live streams or really anything where it's just you. If you're going to be recording band jam sessions or doing podcasts or, with multiple people in the room, the additional cost of the Yeti for the additional functionality would probably be worth it in those scenarios. So if you're interested in more details or you want to check out the product, there is information in the description of this video for you to go to their website, review their mic option as well as the other products that they offer. So until next time, I appreciate you guys tuning in. Please let me know if you have questions in the comments. Otherwise, I'll talk to you guys later. Take care.